Hi all. As you can tell from the title, this video will be about should I stay or should I go? It is a romantic love-based reading and pertains to those of you who are in a relationship and specifically those of you who are currently fighting with your significant other. And you have been wondering lately, is it worth your time to continue to work on the relationship? Or should I just, end things and move on? So I have four piles for you to choose from. The first pile is what is this called? Snowflake obsidian, I think it's called. The second pile is dioptase. Third pile is fluorite. And the fourth pile is celestite. I will be using these two oracle cards to channel your messages. So pause the video if you need some more time to choose your pile. And timestamps will be in the description. Hello, pile number one. So for those of you who chose the snowflake obsidian, I can see right away it seems like most of you are the females in the situation inquiring about your male counterpart. Of course, this is a general reading, so it could go either way, but this is really coming through strongly. Right away, I can see that you guys are fighting about money and finances and things to do with the home, resources. This person is your significant other. They're hoarding resources from you. I see them being manipulative, okay, with the resources. They're probably the breadwinner. They bring home more money than you do, and they are using that as leverage over you. They know what they're doing. You might be making excuses for them and this behavior, but when you cut through all the bullshit, they're using this to exert some control over you. I can see that there are things that you want to pursue, but you feel like you can't because you don't have confidence in yourself. And I feel like the significant other is playing a huge role in you not having this confidence in yourself. This looks to me like a karmic relationship. There's some sort of lesson that you need to learn from this relationship and move on from it. This is not supposed to be a long-term relationship. With this athlete card coming through, I can see that you're supposed to develop some sort of willpower, personal strength in yourself and in spirit and in your own capabilities. With this Don Juan coming through, as well with the man holding a coin in reverse, your partner is very flirty, and that's the mildest possibility. Because again, this is a general reading. The mildest possibility is that he is extremely flirty. And I'm going to keep calling him a he because, like I said, this is male energy coming through strongest here. But of course, make it apply to you. In the more extreme version, for the rest of you, he is outright cheating on you. Frequently, actually. And you probably already know it intuitively. So this is just going to be confirmation for what you already know. He is not faithful, the significant other of yours. With the Avenger coming through, I see a real need to balance the scales of justice. You're being treated very unfairly, and this is a very one-sided relationship. One person is benefiting more from this relationship. This person is really coming off as a covert narcissist, to be completely honest. And with the Destroyer card in reverse, I mean, there's no other answer to this question of whether or not you should stay or go. It needs to be destroyed. This is pretty much the Caroline Miss version of the Scorpio Tower Death Rebirth card. It's over. It needs to be done. You need to learn whatever karmic lesson you're supposed to learn, and you need to move on. Again, with this action card, and you see with this envy, and she's totally looking in the other direction. In this case, usually with this envy card upright, it means that you're looking for things, elsewhere that you already have. But in this case, right next to the action with everything else going on, the answer is totally that you need to leave. There is nothing else going on. There's no salvaging this relationship. It's just going to be years and years and months of nonstop cyclical chaos. It's not going to get better. It's just going to be fight after fight, betrayal after betrayal, infidelity after infidelity, emotional manipulation after emotional manipulation, financial manipulation after financial manipulation. Yeah. So, yeah, those are your messages. Hey, so I'm filming this after I've already finished filming the entire video, because after editing it, I wasn't satisfied with the way I really specified or stressed the infidelity. It looked to me like I kind of brushed over it a little bit, because I guess, everyone's afraid to hear what they already know intuitively. And everyone's afraid to hear that the person that they love or the person that they trust, who is lying to their face and being unfaithful. And I was really not satisfied with the way that I didn't drill it, put enough emphasis on it. This person is a covert narcissist, and there is no other word for them. I have dealt with this kind. Okay, they are master manipulators. They are the masters of lying and deception. You cannot outdeceive or outlie a covert narcissist. Okay? This person is a sociopathic liar. Okay? You cannot believe anything that they say to you. Even if they say something as simple as, I finished work at 6 p.m., they probably finished work at 4 p.m. and spent the last 2 hours with someone else. This person is the type of person who can lie to you to your face and barely bat an eyelash. Now, I kind of brushed over it, saying that, in the least, this person is a big flirt. I guess I was sort of afraid of, I don't know, not really hurting people's feelings, but having dealt with this myself, I really felt the need to come back on here after filming this video to add in that this person is cheating on you like freaking wildfire. In fact, I would probably stop having unprotected sex with this person, to be completely honest. And I would get out immediately. I don't think I stressed that enough in the video. There is no reasoning with a covert narcissist. There is no getting the truth out of them unless you catch them red-handed. And even then, they'll try to kind of tell you half truths and tell you half lies in order to keep you in their life. Okay, I just have to come back on and stress that because it was really bothering me. The answer is very clear in this one. I know it's a tough pill to swallow, but I'm really picking up that a lot of you already had an intuitive knowing that this was going on behind your back, and an intuitive knowing that this really wasn't going to last, which is why you're at this video. And I feel like, you want to know if you're meant to work, if the karma in it is something that you're meant to work through so that you guys can get to another place together and be together for forever or a longer period of time, or if it's a piece of karma that you're supposed to work through for yourself, for you to be able to get out of it. And the answer for you guys is the latter version. It's a piece of karma you're supposed to work through, specifically having the strength in yourself, in your own willpower, your own personal dreams and strength to be able to transcend this karmic cyclical relationship. Okay, I hope that helped. Thanks. Hi, so for those of you who chose pile number 2, the dioptase, I can see that, well, it looks here that most of you are the female inquiring about a relationship with your counterpart, who I'm picking up is probably a male. Again, this is a general reading, so it could go either way, but these are the energies that are coming through. So take it as it resonates and make it apply to you. So right away, I see that you guys are very ambitious. Most of you are actually in school, and you're upgrading your studies. You're trying to upgrade from a bachelor to a master's, from a master's to a doctorate, from a high school diploma to a college diploma. I see that you guys are, or even if it's not school, but I really do see school. But if it's not school, you guys are trying to upgrade your career, get a promotion, which would come, I'm really seeing it coming with some sort of, even if it's an extra certificate that you have to take at night school and college. You guys are really focusing on that, or you want to. And I can see that it's leading to your higher purpose, your life goals. You've always had a goal of being, whatever it is for you. And I see that you're secretly or out in the open looking at university programs or college programs that you could apply to make that happen. And you're counting your finances, trying to figure out how you're going to pay for tuition. You're doing your research. You really want to go all into this. There's some sort of advancement in your career and in your studies. And I can see that your significant other is not so much on board with advancing with you. They're pretty much content with where they're at, or they are lacking motivation. And with the child, a wounded child in reverse here, actually, I forgot to point out that most of your cards actually came out in reverse, and you guys actually got more cards than I had anticipated pulling out. They just flew out. So if you guys, watched pile 1, you'll see that you guys actually have more cards than they do. So with the wounded child coming out in reverse, I see that your significant other has some sort of childhood trauma or childhood subconscious limiting beliefs that are keeping them stuck and stagnant. I see them being kind of excessive with their spending, or if they're not excessive with their spending, they have a sense of entitlement, and they're pretty emotional. So they kind of expect you to be there for them, to take care of them emotionally and financially. But you have a grander vision for your life. I see that this person, with of course it coming out in reverse, that their vision for their life and their vision for the life that you guys share together, it's not really matching up to what you hope for. It's not matching up with what you want, where you want to go in life. Unlike with pile number 1, I do not see any sort of excessive fighting. Though there may be some arguments, of course, but it's not as chaotic as pile number 1. And I do not see any sort of treachery like with pile number 1. This person may be a good person, but they are a little bit of the martyr. They are addicted to self-pity, and they make you feel bad about yourself when you don't run to their rescue and run to their aid. I'm sorry about the lighting with the sunlight. I'm sorry. They make you feel like, lesser than They make you feel like you don't care about them if you don't run to their aid and run to their rescue. Again, with the networker coming out in reverse and with the king coming out in reverse, I kind of feel like this person is pretty outgoing, and they probably like to gossip, go out, go partying, spend money, whereas you're at home studying or working on your business. This could be a business actually for some of you guys. It's not necessarily school, but it's starting a business for some of you. But I'm really picking up school or educational advancement for a higher career. And that's putting a strain on your relationship because one person is a little bit more disciplined, and that's you, and has a bigger vision for their life and both of your lives, and the other person is not there yet. They're not there yet. So this person's not really a bad person, but you guys are not compatible. And I see here, you're wistfully looking out into the distance. You're making, a good amount of money where you're at, the job that you're at, but you're wistfully looking out in the distance, heavily contemplating that venture that you want to take, that university program that you want to take, that course that you want to take, that training program, that advancement in your career. It may even be for some of you that you actually have to move to advance in your career, or you want to move because there's a higher position in another city, or you're just tired of your city and you're just kind of feeling like, should I move and leave this person behind? Should I take them with me? Or maybe you've had the conversation. They say, no, I like this town. I like this city. Why would I move? There's nothing for me out there, which is true. There's nothing for them out there. So your answer, whether or not you should stay or you should go, is that you should go. And it's not because this person is a bad person. It's because you guys are incompatible. You guys have diverging futures right now. You guys have hit the peak of how far you can go in life together, and right now you just need to separate and go your own separate ways, or else you're just going to become resentful to your significant other that they are holding you back and holding you down. And if they have any sort of conscience, after a while they're going to realize that they're doing it to you too, and if they really love you, they too are going to feel bad about holding you back and holding you down. Or if they're really selfish, then they just won't care, but that's going to be a really toxic relationship. So yeah, those are your messages, and thank you for watching. So for those of you who chose pile number 2, the fluorite crystal, for the other 2 piles, it came out pretty clearly whether it was a female. Well, both of them seem like a female inquiring about a male. This one, it's not super clear, but I am still picking up a bit more female inquiring about a male. But this is a general reading, and it's not as strong as the other 2. So this could literally go either way. Right away, I can see that this person is hiding something from you. This person, your significant other, has some sort of addiction problem. And in all honesty, this is looking like a gambling problem. They have a gambling problem. It could be an alcoholic problem or a drug problem. But for most of you, it looks like a gambling problem. And if they're not, they don't necessarily have to be gambling at the casino. They could be gambling on, trades and Forex. They could be placing bets with their friends, or on horses, or on sports, or, there's something about they're hiding money from you. They're either hiding a lump sum of money that, you know what they are. They're hiding a lump sum of money from you, and they're pretending that they do not have as much as they do, because then you would notice how much of it is going missing because they're gambling it away. And of course, when you gamble, sometimes you win big. So they are hiding their winnings from you as well. With the trickster coming out in the upright here, this person is casting an illusion over your eyes. With the poet in reverse, this person is, and also with the deceit card, this person is lying. They're two-faced. They could be a Gemini, but they can be any sign. And yeah, with the servant coming out in reverse, they're making themselves out to appear that they do not have as much money and financial resources as they do. They have more than they're letting on that they have. They're hiding it. It's like laundering money. For some of you, this may be like, on a whole other level. If you guys are, really wealthy and this person's already, they're multimillionaires, they could actually be worth way more than and they're laundering money, overseas and some accounts and stuff like that. And for the rest of you regular folks, it is someone with a gambling problem. Again, like I said, it could be a drug, could be alcohol, but it's throwing away money. So they would be throwing away money on those drugs and those alcohol, but I also see them coming up with lump sums somewhere at certain times sporadically and hiding it from you. They are really trying to come off as someone who is more destitute than they really are. Even if, destitute might be a strong word for this person, depending on a situation, they may not be trying to come off as poor for some of you, but they are definitely coming off as less well off than they actually are. And for those of you, they could actually be trying to come off as pretty poor, but they're not. So to answer the question of should you stay or should you go, I see here with the adjacent possibilities in reverse and the rest and rejuvenation in reverse that you should definitely go. But unlike with pile number 2, I do not see it being an open pathway for you to leave. With pile number 2, it was pretty, they had the financial means, they had the capabilities, they had a clear path to leave. I see there being some blocks. It could be financial blocks. Perhaps this person controls all the money in the relationship, and that's why you don't know how much money that they actually have, because you just you put up with their lies, their deceit, and you take what they say at face value, because you don't have access to their bank accounts. You don't have a shared bank account, and if you do have a shared bank account, they have their own bank account in addition to your shared bank account. And they probably have multiple. Like I said, if this is like real big time money, they probably have overseas accounts. So I see, for some of you guys, you might actually be married to them. And you're afraid, maybe you signed a prenup. So you're afraid that you will leave with nothing. You'll be destitute if you leave them. So I see there being a little bit of an obstacle, a little bit of a block to you leaving, but it's not blocked. Adjacent possibilities literally means you have a lot of possibilities before you, but with it being in the reverse and right next to this card, it's not smooth sailing. It's not going to be smooth sailing. You might not be able to leave right away. You might have to save up for a year before you can leave. You might have to get a job if some of you don't have a job before you can leave. For some of you, you might be afraid of this person. If they're into some sort of illegal activity that you actually already know about, but you just don't know the extent of the illegal activity that they're in, you might be afraid of them retaliating if you leave. You might need to get some sort of protection from the law, or some charity organizations who help, people battered. I don't want to, you could be a battered individual, but ultimately you should definitely leave this relationship. It's toxic. You can't trust this person. You can't trust this person, and if they would have to choose between you, if a crisis occurred and they had to, a huge hailstorm was falling from the sky and everything was getting destroyed, and they had to, in a split second, choose between running towards you or running towards their bank or their safe to get all their money out. I am telling you, they would run towards the safe to get all their money out and just tell you to go run for cover. Or, they would go directly to their safe. Your second place, unfortunately, and that's never going to change, ever, 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 ever. It's not going to change. So this is a pretty heavy reading. I do see there definitely being options that you have. Some of you have friends who will help you. Some of you have friends who are lawyers who could look into, helping you get a divorce or helping you sort of look back into that prenup and sort of finding the loophole so that you're not completely destitute if you divorce them. Some of you have friends who you can stay by. Some of you, have that joint bank account, so you have access to that money. You can withdraw it. You can go live in a hotel or live in another apartment. A lot of you would probably have to find jobs and put some money aside. A lot of you may need to hide that you're saving money. You need to, so that they don't find it, so that they don't get angry and upset. This is going to take some planning. This is not as easy as saying, okay, bye dude, or bye ma'am. With the other two groups, the first group was definitely a, okay, bye. Like they wouldn't have been in a right financial situation to leave right away, but they were more capable of it. With the second group, I saw them as being very much in the financial capabilities of leaving right away. With you guys, there are some blocks. It's going to take some more planning than the first two groups to leave. But there are opportunities, and as soon as you begin looking for them, the universe will open up more doors for you to find them. Okay, don't think that you're completely stuck. You're never, ever completely stuck. The universe will always help you as long as you stand up and start to help yourself. Okay, more opportunities will open up. Maybe at the beginning, all you can find when you mentally search for opportunities of how to get out is, my mama's house, whom I don't really get along with, or who lives in a cramped 1-bedroom apartment. That might be all you can come up with at the moment. But as soon as you do that, it will be probably like within a month that something pops up. There's a job somewhere, and then all of a sudden you get it when your resume has been out of date for like 5 years, 10 years, and then someone, your mom's friend or your friend, your new coworker, one of them might say, oh, I have a room, or oh, my building has a vacancy. And then you'll apply and you'll get it because now you have this job. So, more doors will open up as you take steps, but don't sit around waiting for enough doors or the right doors to open up before you take steps, because I do not see more doors opening up for you before you take those steps. You have to begin taking the steps, even just taking one step, as simple as packing your bags, going to a friend's place, crashing there, or applying for a job and beginning to save your money on the side. I'm really picking up that you guys should hide that as much as you can. I'm sorry, but that's what I'm picking up. If just say, oh, I'm bored in the house, like I'm always, because I am picking up that a lot of you have been unemployed for a while, and you're afraid that your skills are out of date, and just say to your significant other, I'm bored in the house, I'm always in the house. Sorry, I'm thinking about that song, bored in the house, and I'm in the house bored. That's literally you guys. Just come up with something and, even say, oh, they're paying like, $15 an hour, but in real life, maybe they're paying like 20, and you just hide the extra 5 an hour or something. I'm just take some steps and more opportunities will open up. So yeah, this relationship, it's toxic. It's it may be, this person may be decent to you on the surface, but like I said, you're always going to take a number 2 spot in their life. If it's between you and the career, or you and the money, they're running to the money. And for some of you who are like not super resonating, you're like, my guy, he's not like a huge business owner, whatever, he's not a drug addict, like he has like a secure 9 to 5 job. Maybe he's still, or he's not gambling. First of all, some of you, no, all of you, most of you, do not even know this is happening behind your back. That's where the deceit card's coming in, the poet in reverse, the trickster, yeah, shapeshifter. This person is good at hiding things. Like I said, they could be a Gemini. A lot of you have intuitive hints. But if some of you are thinking, he's just a regular 9 to 5 kind of guy, like he what money is he hiding? I'm telling you, he's hiding some money from you somewhere. He might be getting bonuses. It could be something as simple as getting bonuses from work every year or 2 times a year or something like that, and not telling you about the bonuses and hiding that money from you. Or he could have gotten a raise a long time ago and never told you about it and is hiding that extra money somewhere or something. Okay, there is some sort of laundering, money laundering, hiding, deceit from you guys. So the most important takeaway, you do have options, but right now I see your options as being limited. Take steps, take the first step, and the universe will open up more doors for you as you step. Okay, I hope that helped. Hi, pile number 4. So for those of you who picked the Celestite, I can see that it looks like the 2 of you have been together for a pretty long while. This looks like a serious relationship, not a fresh one. I see that you guys are bickering a lot with the hostilities in reverse right here. And I see that some days you wonder why you're still together, and you wonder if you still love them the same way that you did when you first got together. And then other days you feel like, oh yeah, this is why I'm with them. I do still love them. So there's a little bit of a back and forth, teeter-tottering, and you're just kind of dissatisfied with the relationship. I feel like you feel like your significant other is not really listening to you, or they're doing some things that really annoy you, like the kind of things that happen after you've been together with someone for a long time, like married for a long time or just in a relationship for a long time. Like little things like, oh, the way they chew their food with their mouths open, or the way they clip their toenails on the couch, or the way they walk around in their boxers, or they're getting out of shape and stuff like that. And I feel like these little things are getting to you. Or they leave their dishes in the sink and you're just like, why couldn't you wash it? Like, who are you waiting to wash it? Am I a dishwasher? So I feel like you guys have been trying to discuss things, but they work sometimes. It's kind of like sometimes you guys win the battle and it works for that little battle, but overall I don't really see it working in the war, if you know what I mean. Like there is always something else that crops up. Like once you think you've settled something, like stop leaving your dirty dishes in the sink, like wash them. And then they start washing them, and then they're leaving their laundry on the floor by the washing machine and are not putting it in the hamper. And then that pops up. And then you tell them about that. And then, then something else pops up. And it just seems like a never ending circle or cycle. I feel like a lot of you might actually be religious because we have Archangel Michael popping up here, and we also have Healer of the Ages popping up here in reverse. I feel like a lot of you, I'm really picking up like it's like an old Christian couple or Catholic couple or something. I mean, take it as it resonates, but I'm picking up like at least one of you or both of you have been praying about this relationship and have been trying to get the Lord to heal it. Or if some of you, are listening, aren't religious, you've been wishing to the universe for, or your guides or your angels or whoever, for them to help you fix it. With the beggar card here, I really see a lot of you sort of at your last wit's end with this relationship, almost just begging God at this point, like, could you just make it clear if I should leave or I should go, or could you just change them? With this gambler, I feel like you're just, going through the motions. You've been together for so long, you're just kind of like, I can't just up and leave them. And you're hoping it'll get better. But again, the more you look into it, the more it seems like it's not going to work out long term, or it seems like this relationship has arrived at its end. It's hanging by its last string. With the Pioneer card especially coming out underneath the World card, a lot of you, or some of you, are kind of looking wistfully out into the markets, okay, and you're seeing your options, or what could be your options for a mate if you weren't tethered down to this particular significant other who you're with at the moment. And I see a lot of you kind of looking at the girls who are in shape and are not going out of shape, or the guys who are in shape and are not out of shape, and you're thinking, oh, how nice it would be to get down and dirty with one of them, with that those rock solid abs, or like, who just haven't let themselves go, who you're like more attracted to now. And I feel like you're less attractive to your significant other now, way less now than you were when you first got together. Of course, when you first got together, you were attracted to them. I'm really picking up that you guys have been together for a long time. Like, I'm picking up 5+ years for this group. Some of you may even have children, which is also putting a strain on the marriage. If you're a male watching this, your wife could have had a child or 2 or 3, and now she has stretch marks and stuff like that. And if you're a female watching this, you're kind of like, I'm the one who had the children. Why do you have like a big belly, dude? So this one's a really tough one. All the other 3 piles came out pretty darn clearly, especially the first 2, whether or not you should stay or go. But all 3 of them came out really clearly. This one's kind of like on the fence. This one is kind of on the fence. Like, I kind of feel like there are a lot of things to take into consideration. Like, if you have young children in the house, do you want to, break up and have them, go through that emotional scarring of tearing their family apart? For the other 3 piles, for me, it was very much, the weight of the issues and the weight of the issues in the relationships very much outweighed the potential harm it could do to children who are in there. It would be better off if you guys, if they shared custody and separated. For you guys, I don't feel like the weight is heavy enough that it would be obvious that you should leave. I feel like it could literally go either way. Hmm. I feel like with door to personal healing and happiness in reverse and strategy in reverse, you guys really need to, and also with the world upright, you guys, and also with appreciation, you guys really need to pick. Because right now I feel like you're sending mixed signals out to the universe. So the energies don't really know if they should be helping you strengthen and heal your relationship, or helping you to separate amicably as possible, and drift, move apart. It's kind of teeter-tottering, going back and forth, and I feel like you guys just need to make a decision, a firm decision either way, and not go back on it. I see, like, you need to take a couple things into consideration. Like I said, some of you may have kids, some of you are older, like some of you might be in your 50s or 60s or 40s, because people can have midlife crisis when they're in their 40s and feel like, I can't get back into the market at this stage, and you're thinking about that. To be completely honest, your answer is more either or. You need to be firm with whatever decision you take. To be completely honest, I kind of feel like if any of you are under the age of 40, you should, okay, weigh other options and stuff like that. But you should, just based on your age, if you're under the age of 40, I feel like you should leave, because you still have time to find someone else, and you still have a lot of years to be happy with in another relationship with someone else. So I feel like you should leave if you're under 40, especially if you're in your 20s or 30s. I know some people listening to this are probably in their 20s and 30s, and at this point, if you're unhappy now, you guys really have the energy of an old couple. Like, I'm really picking up a couple in there. I mean, no offense, no disrespect, of course, to anyone in their 50s at all. We're all going to be there, but I'm really picking up a couple in their damn 50s and 60s who are like bickering because they've been together for like 25 years. If this is not your case and you haven't been together with this person for like 25 years and you're not in your freaking 50s, for the love of God, just leave. Okay, you guys can still be, amicable. Okay, I don't see you guys hating each other. I see you guys being actual friends with each other. You guys were together for a while. There was a reason you guys were together for a while. And I see this being a soulmate relationship. With some of the other piles, I saw it more being a karmic relationship, especially with pile 1 and 3. This one is not a karmic relationship. This is a soulmate relationship. And for those of you who are not really familiar with, karmic, soulmate, and twin flame, you might think, oh, soulmate, that means I'm supposed to be with them forever. No, we all have multiple soulmates. Some soulmates you're supposed to be with for a certain period of time. Some of them you're supposed to be together forever, of course. Some of them are your friends. Some of them are your family members. Some of them are romantic partners, and of course this soulmate here is a romantic partner, but this is not a long-term, this is a romantic partner that could go either way, but this is not necessarily a long-term soulmate who you're supposed to die with. Okay, I just see you guys falling out of love with each other. You've just kind of had it. You want to explore your options, and like I said, if you're under the age of 40, just go for it. You have so much ahead of you. You guys, I see you guys still being amicable. I don't, unless, someone gets a little, mean after the divorce or the separation, which could happen. But even then, I see you guys, just being amicable after things calm down and people stop crying, about the breakup. If you guys are over 40 and your kids are out of the house, or they're at least like 16, 17, I would probably split as well. There's no one whose feelings you have to take into consideration, like any minors, if they're out of the house or older. So it won't really affect them that much. and you're going to be happier separated. Of course, it's going to be difficult at first because I feel like you guys have been together for a while, so it's going to be really weird, like waking up in your own bed, going to the bathroom, and just having the whole bathroom to yourself. And it's just going to be weird for a while, and you're going to feel like you lost a best friend, because this person is pretty much your best friend. But you're not really supposed to necessarily be together forever. Okay. Yeah, with the pioneer again in the world, one of you, the person listening to this probably, really, I'm picking up that you guys want to travel. You're tired of just the same old routine, picking the kids up from school, dropping them to hockey, or going to work, coming home, making their dinner, or like, I don't know, watching TV together in front of the television or whatever. I'm just bringing up ideas, examples. You guys are tired of the same old routine. You want to travel. You want to maybe change cities. You want to change jobs, careers completely. And this person's like, dude, we have, or honey, this person's like, honey, we have a mortgage to pay. You can't just quit your job because you want to become a painter or a writer or poet. You got to stick to your job. Like, and you feel tied down. You feel a little shackled by this relationship. So I feel like whichever way you guys go, you just need to make a firm decision about it. You need to be firm. If it's I'm going to stay, it's a firm I'm going to go to counseling, like couples counseling. My partner's going to be 100% down and invested in this couples counseling and working on this relationship. Because if you're a significant other, it's like he's like, or she's like 60% into the couples counseling. At that point, I would just end it, because you're not going to go and put 100% into fixing this if this person's only going to meet you with like 60%. It's not going to work at that point. I'm telling you, if this person's only trying to meet you with like 60%, 50%, and you're trying to go 100, it's not going to work. You're just going to drag it on for like another year or two, and then you're just going to end up breaking up anyways. If this person is willing to go 100 with you, and you want to go in 100 and really, really buckle down, make a freaking list of everything that's pissing you off about each other. Even if it's something that you're free to hurt the feelings with, like, listen, like, you're physically don't turn me on anymore. Like, let's go work out together. Like, you guys need to both be 100% and buckle down. If you guys are going to stick together, you guys need to both be on the same gameplay, the game page, And if you're going the route of breaking up, you need to stick with it. There's no, okay, I'm going to start looking for a new apartment or a new house. And then you just look like one day a week. And then the rest of the week, you guys are hanging out, watching TV, playing tennis, watching sports, going to eat at restaurants whenever you're seeing this, if, the pandemic is over and you can do that. If you're doing that, that's not sticking with it 100%. Either you're giving the universe mixed signals. It doesn't know which way to move the energies to help you along. So if you're gonna say, hey, we're done, I'm gonna find a new place to move out, you gotta be out there apartment hunting or house hunting freaking 5 days a week, 7 days a week, like a full-time job. Or you might even want to just to prevent being drawn back into the emotional heaviness of this relationship, because like I said, you guys are friends and you've been together for a while. You might just want to pack up your stuff and say, like, I'm moving out. I'm gonna go stay by my friend. I'm gonna go stay by my mom until I find a place, so that you're not seeing them every day, and so that you can have a little transition period between the time that you guys were living together and the time that you're like completely single and completely on your own. Maybe it's best that you pack up and go live with a friend, so you can have just a little bit of an emotional support, or just feel the presence of someone else in the house, you know, around you, instead of just being completely by yourself. But you need to stick with it, and you got to move right then and right there, like as soon as possible, because with this kind of relationship, it's easy to just fall back into the routine and not move in any direction. Okay, so you need to pick a direction, and you need to move 100% with full, all in, all your focus, all your willpower, 100% in that direction, whichever direction it is. Okay. But like I said, you know, life is short. This person is your friend. They're your soulmate, but most of our soulmates, we're not supposed to be together. We're not meant to be together for our entire life anyways. And if, you know, if that's the case, you're going to find someone else. You might not find them right away. You probably shouldn't. You should take some time out to heal and be by yourself, because you've been with someone for so long. You need to remember what it's like to be by yourself. You need to grow as a person. But yeah, I wish you guys the best of luck. This is like the lightest pile of them all in a way. It was the hardest to read. But yeah, I don't really see you guys being able to go wrong either way, as long as you're 100% all in, both of you, into whichever direction you choose. But it's really up to you. I don't want to tell you what to do. You just, you know, whatever your heart's telling you to do, you need to jump in, do that 100%, and not go back. No teeter-tottering. This is a very teeter-tottery group. None of that. Okay, so hope that helped, and catch you on my next video.